As I'm out here cutting the mushroom inoculation logs, I wanted to share something pretty interesting, an interesting observation. I wanted to share something interesting with you on the growth habits of trees. Here you have some softwood trees, pine trees as most would say. This tree right here is an eastern white pine, and a unique feature about them, they have whorled branching, and so each section of branching basically represents 1 year of growth. And so I counted one of these trees in here. It's about 30 years old, and so the diameter of breast height of this tree right here is about 11 inches or so. I didn't measure it, but I just wanted to point something out to you. So that's about 30 years old. And so, you know, when I'm cutting these trees here for mushroom inoculation, and you can see the variation of sizes. And my guess is all these trees were planted at the same time. It only makes sense. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show something to you, just how extreme the growth habits can be amongst trees. Once I show this to you, you'll have a better understanding not to estimate a tree just based on the diameter at breast height. This tree is approximately 12 inches. It's 11 and a half, just over 11 and a half inches. And you see the difference here with this tree, and this tree is growing on the edge. I haven't counted those rings yet. I will in a future video. But you can see the difference in diameter, even of the stump. I mean, this tree here was probably 16 inches in diameter at breast height. Now, the tree down there at the end, I'll eventually cut, and my intention is to include it in a future video, way down there at the end. That one's 15 and a half inches in diameter, the breast height. Now, look how small this tree was. You can see look how small the stump was. There's my hand. So, my guess is, estimation of that diameter, if I remember the tree, it was probably, the diameter at breast height was probably somewhere around 5 inches. So just think of that. So if that's 5 inches at diameter at breast height, even if it was 6, I think 6 is being pretty generous. Anyway, so that's 6 inches. This guy here, 12 inches, 11 and a half inches diameter at breast height, and that one down there at the end is 15 and a half. So essentially that tree at the end is 10 inches in diameter. 10 inches, that tree down there at the end is 10 inches greater in diameter at breast height than what that one was. And so I'm going to, as I said, in a future video, tie all this information together. But I'm gonna count these rings just to basically confirm, to make sure these are all 30 years old. I don't know why they would have planted them in different years. Maybe they did, but I highly doubt it. So I actually counted these ones here, and you can see them. And based on how small the tree is and where it was growing, and genetically it was probably, you know, obviously it had to compete with these other trees here, but maybe it was genetically inferior or whatever. But anyway, you can see how, here's my finger, so you can see how, there's a width of my finger, and you can see how many years of growth are just represented in one width of my finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 years, 7 years of growth. Grew very slow, and in the younger years you can see it grew faster, had more room to grow, just got out competed. Just look at the extreme difference in diameter from that large one on the end down there and this one even here and all the other trees in between. I'm not going to measure all those diameters, but you can see the differences. And if they were planted at the same time, they're all about 60 feet tall. I took the lengths of the logs that I just cut, and then I estimated the tops that were left over from the cutting in there, and then I considered the stump that was left, and so this tree that I just cut was about 60 feet tall. So they're all about 60 feet tall, but you can see the variance in diameters. Now these trees here, I never counted how old they are, these eastern white pine, but as I was saying earlier, to tie all this stuff together, these trees over here, especially, you know, I counted, I think it was this one here, counted the world branches. No, it was actually this one, and that was about 30 years old. So you can see just the difference in the growing pattern. On average, these are a little bit bigger, although they're growing much closer together. So just an interesting thing to point out, and something that I thought of and I noticed. I thought I'd just share with you. So all that to conclude is, just don't assume a tree is young just because it has a small diameter at breast height. It could very well be rather old, has just been suppressed and growing in the understory at a very slow rate. Okay, I'm going to cut one more tree down, and that's going to be the final logs for mushroom inoculation. By the time I'm going to be able to get back here, it's going to be too late, and so I'm just trying to prioritize the smaller logs they're going to have more mushroom inoculation logs in them, as opposed to this guy right here. Alright, so we're going to hit this guy, or I'm going to cut this stump off, and that one down there, and then we're going to tackle this one next. So I'm a little pressed for time. I am actually not going to film the cutting of this tree. You know, I might film some parts of it, but I'll just film some other stuff as I'm able. But I want to get this tree down, cut up branches back, and I got some other stuff to get off to, but I want to make sure that I document this stuff interesting for you, and just to kind of show the process. Now this process is a little bit unique because it's along a driveway, and I don't want the brush just laying around. Now if you did this in the woods, obviously you probably just make a brush pile for the wildlife and just leave it there. So it's just a little bit more time intensive, which is fine. So I did want to show you the stump here before I cut it off. Just study it a little bit more. That's what it looks like there. I actually did pretty good on this one. I could have gone up a little bit more when I did the plunge cut here. But it got about 1 inch, is that what I said, what I was shooting for. Got the right angle for the face cut here, and then you can see about how level it was. So I think I did pretty good on that one. Some of the other ones I didn't do the best, but I'm pleased with that one. I always try to practice my tree cutting skills when I'm running the saw, both safety and just techniques and stuff, cutting trees down. So I just thought I'd share that with you. On to the next one. Thought I'd share the stump with you here from this cut tree. Sorry, got the blast of sun there, but this is probably the best one today. And you can see, isn't the straightest. That last one was straight, but that hinge is really good. Excellent, you know, excellent depth from the where I did the face cut. Kept about a little over an inch for the yeah. So what that is, as far as the width of the hinge, you want about 10% of the diameter at breast height is what you're looking at. And you see the holding wood there, and the tree dropped right where I wanted it. I didn't show you loading up the first batch, first tree that I cut down, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of time lapse to show you the logs that we cut up here. So there they are, quite a few mushroom logs. Got some firewood here. Probably could have cut that into mushroom log, but thought it was a little bit too big. Firewood, some firewood here. Gonna cut this stump down and split those big ones over there, but well on our way here, so I gotta load up the truck and get home. So we got most of the wood loaded up, and I'm tired. And I need to clean this brush up over here, put it in the brush pile as my client requested. And yeah, I got quite a few logs. I didn't count them. I got some firewood there as well, and looking forward to heating my house and growing some mushrooms. So thanks for following along. Hopefully you find some interest in this. It's a pretty unique experience. So looking forward to what these logs can produce.